Welcome to the Calmer Self podcast. I'm Nadine. Join me to learn how to connect with the calmer version of yourself. I'll share with you my tips and coping strategies for reducing feelings of stress, overwhelm and guilt so that you can live a productive life with ease and joy. And there'll be inspiration from other wellbeing therapists, experts in relaxation and fellow calm crusaders. Lovely. Well, hello everybody. I am so excited today to be talking to my good friend, Kornelia Stephanie today. Now, I'll just give you an introduction of what Kornelia is and all that she does, and wait for it because this is a biggie because she does a lot. Kornelia Stephanie is a philanthropist. She's an influencer, co-creator of Heaven on Earth. Kornelia is the founder of the Kornelia Stephanie Media Group, a visionary, spiritual, mentor and teacher, mentor and teacher, a community builder. She is also an author, podcaster, public speaker, and I've got to say, because I know you so well, so much more. So welcome, Kornelia. It's lovely to have you on my Calmer Self podcast today.
Oh, it's an honor and a pleasure to be with you, Nadine. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's lovely. It is so lovely. I'd just like to start by telling everyone a little bit about us and how I met you and what we've done together so far. We have never met in real life as yet, but that really doesn't matter, does it? Mm. And we met, goodness, I think it was over a year ago, isn't it? Online. And you, Kornelia, interviewed me, didn't you? That was where we started. So yeah. It was really lovely. On your, was it Stories That Inspire Hope? Was that the one on Transformation Talk Radio? And it was wonderful. We had that instant connection, didn't we? It was really lovely. And we've gone on from there. You then welcomed me into your Kornelia Stephanie Media Group, which is wonderful. So many lovely people in there and all that you do for everyone as well. Then you invited me to co-host your podcast, didn't you? Self-Realization and the Inner Child, which I adore doing with you. So thank you so much for that. And now I get to interview you on my podcast. So how lovely is that?
That's really, so wonderful. Yes, it's been, just knowing you over the last year, when I met you during the time that I interviewed you on the podcast, that instant connection that I felt with you was so authentic. Mm. And then when we connected, online and started to build a relationship and got to know each other through our cultivation over this last year, one of the things that I saw with you all the time is that you show up.
Oh, I love it. I love it when you say that. You show up.
You show up. And so you show up to, to be your best self, to be your highest self. You show up because that's really your service and that's your mission. That's what you came here to do this. And so I love being with people, working with people, collaborating with people that want to show up.
Yeah, thank you for that. And you give me so many opportunities to show up. So it's wonderful, isn't it? It is so wonderful. So now I did mention in your introduction that you are an author, and I believe you have your book there, don't you, Kornelia? Would you like to sort of mention that a little bit, what that is? Because it's a big part of what you do, isn't it?
Yes. My book is called Peace, the Flipside to Anger. And it's about peace as an inside job. And so when I wrote the book back in 2014, the book was published in 2015, and it's how I used my emotions to heal my life and my body, how you can too. And so the book, in the first part of the book, it talks about how we can all become, it talks really about the global war that's happening on a global scale and how we can really truly transcend that energy and have peace on earth, on this planet for the first time ever, where there's no war. Because if you look back into our evolution, it all the way going back to thousands and thousands and thousands of years, we have had war on this planet. Yeah. And so that was what my intention was for writing this book, is how do we how do we, because we're an evolved species, and why do we still kill each other? So that was basically what the book, what it was about. Why do we have war? And so the first part of the book talks about my own experience with seeing why we have war on the planet and what that was about. And the second part of the book is more of a daily practice, a download, a 21-day opportunity to invite you into looking at the war that is within yourself, so that you can, bring that peace as an inside job to your life and transcend the war within yourself.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that so much, because you work so much with the feelings and the emotions, don't you? And I personally have done your 21 days, haven't I? I've done it more than 21 days. I revisited some of it, and it does go deep, and it does give you that chance to really connect with yourself and grow through those 21 days. So that is lovely, and we will put the link to that, won't we, in the comments below, so that people can look at that as well. So
yeah, and I do want to share one thing, because we're talking about peace and we're talking about calm, and you're calmer self.
Yeah.
So the whole, peace is one of the highest vibrations that we can be in. When our physical body is 100% relaxed and open and receptive, in safety and feeling at peace within, we are 100% connected to the highest vibration that we could ever live. And so there is so much value to living that way of life, that I was reminded of this recently when I was interviewed on another podcast. Actually, one of our members, Susan Axelrod, interviewed me on her book show. And she was really moved by this passage, and I want to share it with your audience.
Yes,
today.
Please do. Yeah.
And so this is in page 91 of the book, where I talk about what you can look to and what you can expect. That the peace vibe is now so contagious that the hearts of millions of people everywhere are experiencing ecstatic symptoms of inner peace. This inner movement is rippling out in staggering proportions, so that the first time ever in recorded history on this planet, we are experiencing peace on earth, one heart at a time. And I would really feel like we have a good another 10 years before we can really see it play out on a global scale, because we're now in 2022.
Yeah.
And I feel like another 10 years to heal the collective trauma that needs to be healed, and one heart at a time, one person at a time, getting connected into their calmer self, their peaceful self. And so I'm feeling like in 10 years from now, we can really see this play out, peace on earth. In 2032, 2035, something like that. But here are a few symptoms of inner peace. Undeniable feelings of freedom in every moment. Walking the middle path, neither for or against. Uninterested in judging yourself or other people. Uninterested in pushing an agenda. Uninterested in holding yourself back. Uninterested in conflict, worry, or struggle. These are symptoms of inner peace. When you get to that point, you are not interested in that worry, conflict, or struggle, because you're in peace. Uninterested in wanting or needing validation from others. Overwhelming romantic feelings of love in the moments.
Beautiful.
Experiencing so much flow and abundance that you can share with others. Consciously allowing things to happen rather than making things happen. Feeling connected with nature and others, and creating and expressing your love with others and all of life. So these are just a few symptoms of inner peace that you can experience when you connect with your calmer self.
I love that so much. And I would imagine people listening to that, Kornelia, would maybe ticking a few boxes if they're lucky, but there'd be people listening that are going, how do I get there? How do I do that? Now, I know that you work personally with people, helping them do this, don't you, on a one-to-one basis, but you offer so much in your groups as well, don't you, and the groups that I'm part of, that this is really, I'm not sure if I call it your mission, but this is your passion, isn't it? This is your joy. This is your message. This is your life. And I just feel that has described it so beautifully. This is where you are and where you wish for everyone else to be, and you can help them, can't you? So it's just wonderful that you've shared that with us.
Yes, because I know that you know, in order for us to really be the change that we want to see in the world, it begins with us. And one of the ways that I work with people is I, you know, do it in the groups that you mentioned. So we have our business group, we have our KS media group, we have that there, but then I also have several other groups which you are also a part of. And those groups are free. And those groups have been created so that the women can come in and really process and release their emotions, taking responsibility for their emotions, and also talk about and release their pain. Not to stay in the pain, but to acknowledge it, to acknowledge their feelings, to acknowledge their emotions, and then align again with the higher vibration of where you want to be.
Yeah, and you do, as you've just mentioned, there's quite a lot of different ways that people can connect with you, and you hold that lovely space for people to be able to feel and express things and move through things as well. So again, we'll put all those links to what you've mentioned in the comments below so people can find those, which is wonderful. So can I just ask you, obviously you're very, very busy. You are the essence of calm, which is beautiful. But can you perhaps talk us through a little bit of a typical day in the life of Kornelia Stephanie and how you might fit in those moments of calm? Because you, as I say, you are busy, you get a lot done, you're dynamic, but how you manage to balance that, you know, making sure that you have time for you as well as everybody else as you do.
So you're asking me, you know, an interesting question, because you're saying, you know, how do I approach my life, and how am I living my day, and how do I connect with that calmer self? Well, the calmer self is here right now, and the calmer self is doing all of those things.
Yeah, beautiful.
And so basically it's not separate.
Yeah.
And the calmer self is coming to all of the moments in the day. So, you know, from the time in the morning when you wake up, you've got your morning ritual, you've got your morning reflection, journaling, meditation time, you've got nature connection time, going for, you know, a long walk, connecting with nature, having that conscious time of watching a bird or watching the sunrise or something like that, right? And you're bringing your conscious awareness of your inner peace that you're bringing to the day in all the appointments, in all the things. So basically, it means that you can be busy and you can have a lot going on, and you can be calm and you can be peaceful, because that's how you live.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. That's what we all aspire to, isn't it? So that is so wonderful. Now, you've given us a lot of wisdom here, Kornelia, in this little time that we've been talking already. But I always like to ask you to share perhaps a little phrase or a little one word of wisdom so that people can take that away and perhaps use it. Is there something you could sum up? I mean, as I say, you've given us tons already, but is there perhaps a little phrase or one word that might be something people can take away with them?
What is your most peaceful state? What is it that peace means to you? What does it mean to you? And what is your most peaceful state? And that's what I'm inviting the audience to find out, what that means to them, so that they can begin to make that a priority in their life. Because I know the world is unfolding, and chaos is out there and all of that. But again, when we manage our own energy, and when we realize that everything is energy and that we are the managers of our energy, that's when we can be in control of how we manage our energy and, allow life to happen.
I love that so much. And that's typical of you. You've put a question out there, haven't you? And you do that a lot, don't you? That's part of what you do, helping people question themselves, finding the answers, moving through that. So that is beautiful. I would expect nothing less from you. A wonderful question for everybody. So thank you so much for that. Now, I know that everybody will want to find out more about you, connect with you in the various forms that they can. So would you like to share with everyone how we can do that, ways that we can find you? What we can do to get involved with you.
Let's tell everyone where they can find me and you.
Shall we? Shall we tell them?
Yeah, where they can find us together. So we just recently, we have a new app. It's called KS Media, MEDIA Group app. And you can get it on the App Store, in the App Store. And you can get it under the Play Store as well for the Android phones. And so download the app and then create your free account, get the free ebook. And now what you're going to find is when you go under, and when you go into the app and you go under directory, you're going to go under directories, and then under directories, you're going to find my name there. You're going to also find Nadine's name there. So because we are listed there as the world's best leading influencers on the planet, because we are. So that's where we are. And you can click on my name at Kornelia Stephanie, and there is a place there. There is a word that says inner peace. And so when you click on that word inner peace, it's going to take you to the 21-day peace practice. The 21-day peace practice. And basically in that 21 day, like Nadine said earlier, she did it several times. And she said to me when she was doing it, she said, this is so much more than what you're calling it, Kornelia. It's so much more than a challenge and what you're calling it, because it's bringing up so much in me that I don't know if I can actually get it all done in 21 days, because I need more than one day to do the exercise, even though the exercises are only 10 minutes a day to listen to the daily practice, and the invitation to process your emotions and to look at what you're thinking and what your thoughts are and what you're grateful for. And so this is a 21-day invitation to go into your inner peace. And that is under my name in the app. And it's $21. It's like,
brilliant.
So, there's no excuse, because the tools and the resources are there. If you want to live your life in the symptoms that I shared with you earlier, to be completely at peace in the choices you make and how you're living your life, then making space to create that type of environment is done through the daily practice in the inner peace.
Yeah, and you're so right. It is beautiful. It is 10 minutes a day. That's all you need to commit to. But I did go a little bit deeper, and it was lovely again with that connection, because you offered so much more for me, and I know you will for other people. So it is the perfect place to start, isn't it? And like you say, in the app, it's all there. It's so easy to access. It's wonderful. It's all free. And that's the place. So it's the KS Media Group app that we all need to get to be part of, because we're there, and so are lots of other lovely people, aren't they?
Yes, and there's so many influencers there, where there's podcasts there's articles. Every single thing to live your best life is what is available within that app. We want you to, we just rolled out the new universal question every single week. We invite you to go to the app, and there is under the directories, there's a part where it says universal question. Click on that and look at what this week's question is about. And then there's a journal option for you. And the journal option is completely private. Only you can see it, but you can track your progress throughout the year. So basically, for the next year. So by next October, answer the questions and then track your progress right there. Just with a few notes. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it's a way to make you conscious and a way to ask your inner feelings. How do you feel about it?
Exactly. It's a wonderful tool, isn't it? And I know people are loving using it already. So we invite everybody to get involved. It's a wonderful resource, isn't it? So we have come to the end of our time, I'm afraid, Kornelia. I have loved talking to you and I am so grateful. So I welcome you to come back another time because there's so much more that we can talk about. But it has been a joy today. So thank you so much. Really, really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Nadine.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Calmer Self podcast. Please rate and review. And if you want support, advice, accountability and inspiration to make the changes you need to manage your stress and live your life with ease and joy, check out the Calmer Self Facebook page. There's also more information on LinkedIn, Nadine award-winning changemaker, and please visit my website www.calmerself.co.uk.